Hello and welcome. My name's Super Saiyan and this is your weekly news and pre-order video covering all of the new releases from Forge World and Games Workshop. I've had a bit of a break from videos, break from the channel, so thank you for your patience. I will now start again in haste all of the content. So I hope you've enjoyed the content that I have released on Leviathan. There's going to be plenty more of that. Thank you for your patience, and a massive thank you to everybody that supports the channel, all of you members, everyone that supports through Patreon, and everyone that uses the Element Games affiliate link and buys all the Warhammer through this channel's Element Games affiliate link. Let's get straight into the video. So there's a lot of news to go through, but if we just go back the past week to the 8th or so. I mean, the big news, which I haven't really covered, is Imperialis and these new Wolf Scout Titans with a plastic kit. So there was a preview event, I guess, a little while ago, a good couple of weeks ago, and there were some decent things. I really like the Age of Sigmar stuff, like the Cities of Sigmar. Look at these fantastic looking minis. Along with this Lioness of Parch. I wouldn't mind putting a Sisters of Battle on that Lioness, on that lion. Is it a Chimera? Then we also had the Cerastus Knights, the Acheron and Castigator. It was bound to happen. They've built the Lancer, so they might as well use the sprues for these. The armor plates are different. If you look at the shoulder plates, and obviously the weapons are different. And the good news is that the leg poses are different as well. You know, you've got one striding forward, one with its right leg moving forward. So it's going to be a multi-pose kit. I don't know whether we'll get both of these in one. I still think it's going to be 3 separate kits. We'll see though. We also had a little bit of Skaven and then a Warhammer preview with the square base, of course. But this miniature, at first I thought it was plastic, and it has all the hallmarks of being plastic, but it's actually Forge World resin. So it makes me wonder, you know, how many minis of this Warhammer Old World will be plastic or just resin. Then we had a little look at some new Cruel Boys. And then finally, Legions Imperialis. I'm not a big fan, I have to say. As much as I wanted like Epic to come back, for me, it's not really ticking the boxes for me. It might do for you, and that's great. The only thing I really liked was this little cute Sakaran. This Omega, the plasma array, is, say the wrong way, it's a different way. And the Predators, the cannons are droopy. And also, there looks to be inconsistency with the Dozer blades, but I guess these are really small, so, you know, I'd say they're painted very well considering they're so small. And I'm not a big fan of the Solar Auxilia that's included either. They're alright. And then with the Titans, they've just bundled in the same Warhound Titan, so no new Titans, which is a bit of a missed opportunity. And the missile launcher, in my opinion, that is the wrong way. I think it should be horizontally armed. But I do like the Melter. I wish it had some kind of heat cowling though. And the claw is, you know, what we used to, but now we've got plastic Ursus claw. But that's about it. Just those weapons, and also the Volkite, I guess, will be plastic too. I'm not feeling it, guys. I don't know what you think about Imperialis, but yeah. Anyway, then last week we had a pre-order session of the Lion. Sold out immensely quickly. I've struggled to pick one up, and I don't think I'll receive mine until August, which is shocking. You would have thought that they would have made more. It's an easy answer for me to give, but I'm basing that on how quickly he sold out with the Blade Guard. The first time he was released, about 2 months ago or so. Yeah, and they've now got to the same situation where he sold out again. So maybe people still wanted him from then. I don't know whether this is kind of like the final nail in the coffin for some people, in that, you know, they can't even make, it's kind of like I say a main product. Forget your Horus Heresy jet bites and things. They can't even make a main product. Like, they can't make enough of it, really. And you know, you could say, well, Super, they were busy building Leviathan and lots of box sets, and a lot of people did get their Leviathan box sets. That's fine. But just halt releases. I mean, they're not in dire straits. They can afford to halt releases for a little while, to avoid disappointment. Yeah, I'm happy that I'll be receiving mine, but not happy that I have to wait, you know, a whole extra month. You got Boss Nikrot available separately, and Commander Farsight, and some Middle-earth minis, as well as some Black Library novels, and that's about it. So I did pre-order the Lion, but he probably won't appear on the channel for quite a while. You got Armies of Parade. You got Armies on Parade 2023. You got Dwarf Problems. 10 Things You Know About the Horus Heresy Legion Imperialis. So epic scale, they class it. So Aeronautica works well with, you know, the Titans, and then obviously all of these troops and things. And then you've got some scenery. I think you'll get some new scenery coming. You've got the new starter sets, which are up for pre-order today, so we'll have a look at those in a moment. You've got a starter set, introductory set, and an ultimate starter set. So these, I don't know whether they should have been released alongside Leviathan, but they've come about quite close to the release, and they do actually have dice and clippers and paints and things, and in some cases gaming boards, and in some cases scenery. So we'll have a little look at those. You've got a rumour engine for the 4th of July. Looks like some kind of arm with a spike or pin in it. Getting a closer look at the Imperialis minis. Look how small they actually are. They've gone for the Mark 6, which is understandable. But one thing that's grated a few people is that they're releasing the Assault Mark 6 Space Marines in Imperialis before full scale, and it's a new game system. You're probably going to find that a lot. They're probably going to do that a few times, which is a shame. I would have preferred everything to be out for Horus Heresy in plastic. You know, it's been over a year now, but you've got the Warcry starter set, Gene Father, so this is a new novel by Guy Haley. That special edition looks gorgeous though. And then you've got Hammer and Bolter. Looks like a Emperor's Children edition. 40 Years of Warhammer with Imperial Knight. 40k updates, Middle-earth, Faction Focus, and Meta Watch. These new Direwolf Scout Titans, new plastic kit. So I don't think they sold well in resin. I really don't. You bought one. I mean, I put it this way, I haven't even built mine. I've bought it for the channel to unbox, but I didn't build it, and I haven't reviewed it. I just think they look silly. Yeah, it's something about the feet, how the feet are so narrow for such a wide walker. Something to do with the Vulcan Mega Bolters, which only are one set, and then you've got this big weapon on the top. I guess it's all to you know, minimize the weight, and you do have a nice chunk of weapons there. Looks like you've got a volcano cannon, a neutron laser, and a conversion beam disruptor. That's a conversion beam, that's the neutron laser, and then that's the volcano cannon. I'm just not sure about the feet. And I'm not sure whether the resin sold well enough to make them, but hey, you know. And it says they skulk into Legions Imperialis. So this is what they've done, look. So they can be used in Adeptus Titanicus and Legions Imperialis, but what they've done is they've put the rules in the Imperialis rulebook. But you've also got some rules for the conversion beam dissipator and the Adeptus Titanicus are provided. Okay. Hopefully when we get an update to the Adeptus Titanicus rulebooks and things that, you know, these Titans will be included in it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they start doing this a lot more often, having Adeptus Titanicus Titans rules in Imperialis, which is a bit, well, it's fragmenting, isn't it? It's kind of pushing you down the side of getting that game system. Favourite Space Marines painted by wider Warhammer community. New from Forge World. You've got a pre-order of the Iron Hills Dwarf Warriors. They look awesome. Lots of detail on them. Your burning questions answered. So new bases are just thinner. Do I have to rebase your Titans? You don't if you don't want to. These are the factions that are supported. And the Global Battle Situation Report, the end draws near. New from Black Library. It says pre-order now. If we went to pre-order that, probably wouldn't exist. And yeah, that was the pre-orders last weekend. Sunday preview. So this was the starter sets. So you got the rule book separately, introductory set, the starter set, the ultimate starter set, and straight away they are now releasing some of these minis separately, like the Librarian and the Barb Gaunts. You got some 3 Infernus Marines and some paints, and some Termagants paints, and then just the paints and the clippers and a starter brush. They also showcased this Sons of Horus Decurion Lanius. Been quite a while since the previous Decurion came out. I thought it would have been released earlier. And then you've also got Ripper Bolgrot and a couple of books in different languages, and not much on Warhammer Plus, which is a bit of a shame. You got White Dwarf issue 490. Welcome to the bunker. And the preview, which is today at 2 o'clock. What's next? So they're probably going to showcase some more minis. Special preview for all the new minis from the side who won. It's a bit of a shame that they're limiting themselves to that. You know, the side who won, we're just going to show you those minis. We're not going to show you the new minis for the other side yet. It would be nice if they did, though, today. You've got free guild Fusiliers, take aim and fire. These look quite interesting. Look at this, little supply run. And a little look at Imperialis again. Epic Fall of Cadia with incredible artifacts. Nice map. Rimmer Engine for the 11th. It's like a skeleton. Favourite Tyranids painted by the community. 7 best innovations of Necromunda. Warhammer Plus Battle Report. 40 years. Nagash becomes the Supreme Lord of the Undead. Cities of Sigmar range announcement. So you've got new miniatures and the replacements. So some things will continue servicing. Units leaving the range. So these are all the units leaving the range. So, Phoenixes. Phoenix Guard. Gang Tackles the Harbingers. And then on Thursday, we had a look at the Loyalist Champion. There'll probably be a Traitor or Heretic champion at some point. Interesting choice. Yeah, odd pose. Got a Combi Melter and this Paragon Blade. You can have a helmeted version. I will be picking this model up. I do think it's pretty cool and would go quite well with my Dark Angels just because of the cloak thing. Go well with some of the Mark 6 Dark Angels I've got. Even go quite well with the Raven Guard. New from Forge World. These are the pre-orders. So the Decurion and the Ripper Polgrot. And then highlights, basing, eyes, Warhammer painting team, answer your hobby questions. That's quite cool. I want to see more articles like that. So without further ado then, let us jump on over to Forge World. Right here, and on the very first page, we've got a look at Ripper Bolgrot, but no Decurion. If you just click there like I have, it'll take you to the Blood Bowl minis. But if we just go back and go to new and pre-orders, then you'll see Ripper Bolgrot, £27.50. It's not too bad. Five components for Bolgrot. And then Sons of Horus, Decurion, and Lanius, £27.50. It's quite a large amount for half a Space Marine. This weapon here, the pintle mounted weapon, is called a Bane Strike Bolt Cannon, which sounds and looks awesome. I suppose you could proxy it as a heavy bolter maybe. But you've got 9 resin components for this one, and the rules are in that book that came out a little while ago now, the most recent Horus Heresy book. That's it from Forge World. So only 2 things. Who knows what we'll get next week. Let's jump on over to Games Workshop now and have a look at all of the pre-orders today. Okay, and here we are on Games Workshop's web store. You've got an advert here. Get started with Warhammer 40,000. You've got a little look at the Librarian separately and the new Tyranids, Barb Gaunts. So if we just go to new and exclusive, and we take a look at pre-orders, and we go high to low, view all. So start off with this So we start off with this starting Warhammer 40,000 recommended collection, £152.50. You're getting like a paint set, some clippers, mold line remover, and a starter brush, dice, range rulers, some sheets. What are they? They are 2 reference sheets, 1 for each army, 2 game boards, 2 range rulers, plastic modular terrain pieces, so 9 of those, and a STC hab bunker, and 8 stockades. And then you're getting a number of minis. So you're getting the Captain and the Terminators, 5 Infernus, and the Librarian. So you're missing out on the Biologus, you're missing out on the Dreadnought, you're missing out on 5 more Infernus, you're missing out on the Stern Guard, and you're missing out on the Veteran. So quite a chunk that you're missing out on. For the Tyranids, you're getting the Prime, the Von Reapers, the Psychophage, the Termagants, and the Barb Gaunt. So you are missing out on that Screamer Killer and you know, the big psychic Tyranid. But you're also getting a load of scenery, which is quite nice, and some barricades and some paints. So, you know, if you didn't really want to get the full rule book, £40 rule book, but you wanted to get some paints and some dice and things, couple of forces to play a game, everything that you need really to play a game, for £2.50 more than the actual box set costs. So this is the recommended collection. So you can't really pick this up at a discount, but you can pick the other 3. So you can get the starter set. So you can get the ultimate starter set for about £100,
from Element. Again, everything that you need to play, minus, clippers, paints and things. So that's not too bad. And then you've got the starter set, which is £65, a bit cheaper, half the price. You get the board, the dice, and two armies. You're now not getting the librarian in this set, and you're not getting the barb gaunts. You're just getting the termagants. The Honor Bound Special Edition, that is sold out. I think that was available, I want to say last weekend though. The line, obviously last weekend, that sold out very quickly. You've got the introductory set for Warhammer 40,000, £40 for this. You're getting a little bit of a gaming board, you're getting a handbook, and you're getting a very small number of miniatures and only 5 paints, but you are getting dice, clippers, things like that, and you can pick this set up for about £32 with a discount. Not too bad. Then you've got Commander Farsight, which was last weekend. You've got the Paints and Tools set. If anybody remembers the 90s, you pretty much got about 10 paints, I think, and 5 Space Marines for about a tenner. Yeah, times have changed a bit. You got the Barb Gaunts, £27.50. I'm yet to build my Barb Gaunts, so the jury's out on this one until I have built them. Is there only one sprue though? I don't think. Yeah, they're push to fit, so they're charging kind of almost full prices for push to fit minis. Bosnick Rot last weekend, and then Librarian Terminator Armor, push to fit mini, £24.50. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him be £20 because he is push to fit. But yeah, you've got the Infernus Marines and paints, £22.50, and then Termagants and paints for £22.50. You've got the rule book. You've got the rules, which is £15, but I think this just has the rules in it, so this has 64 pages, so it might be worth picking this up if you don't want to lug around the big thick book around everywhere. £15, not too bad. It does away with all the lore and things, and that book is like a 400-page book or whatever, the full-size book. You've got Awakenings paperback, and then White Dwarf $4.90. So not a huge amount to pre-order this week from both Forge World and Games Workshop. I think it'll pick up next week. And yeah, now that they're releasing the Barb Gaunts and the Librarian, I actually do think that it won't be too long before we start seeing, many of these Space Marine and Tyrannid units be released into the wild, I guess. And, we get to look at the new releases, and we get to have a preview of some of the new models for both the factions later on today. What do you guys think of these starter sets? Are you going to pick up one, or are you not interested? What are your thoughts on the Lion again being out of stock? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.